I'm inspired to write in different ways. I think it's dependent really on what I'm listening to. I listen to a variety of music genres, and I guess it depends on my mood or the situation around me. I mean, I can remember writing some songs on my last album, the one before Sanction that had Twale on it. The last song there is a very aggressive song titled It's All About You and Me. Now, what inspired that song was I was in traffic one day, and I was driving this sedan, and this dude in the Jeep just came, and almost hit me off the road. And I was like, because you drive a huge car doesn't necessarily mean you should, try and bully me off the road. So, interestingly, I got to the studio, I was pissed. Oh man, was I pissed. I got to the studio and I was inspired to write a song about that situation, and I titled it, It's Not About You and Me. And basically I spoke about, it's not about your cars, it's not about your money, it's not about what you have really. Who you are is not defined by what you have, Sometimes I'm inspired by relationships. There's another song on the same album titled Let It Go, where I was speaking about pain, letting go of pain and all that. Most times when I write, sometimes it's based on experiences, what I go through. So I was having a hard time in this relationship, and I was encouraging myself. And I wrote the song called Let It Go. That was how many, about 4 years now, and I'm still trying to practice what I sang. So basically, I guess that's, I get influenced by different stuff, Yeah. Well, I have practically, in terms of practicality, been into songwriting for about 15 years. And in terms of how many songs I've written, that I can remember, I think I've written about 100 to about 115 songs in total. Those are songs that I registered anyway, I've written for all sorts of artists, I've written for Nigerian artists, I've written for foreign artists. It's interesting writing songs really, because it just gives you this form of expression, You're able to say stuff you can't say verbally. I mean, in terms of speaking, when you're speaking to people. But when you're writing a song, it's different, because when you're writing a song, it's kind of like saying what you want to say, but in melodies. So that way it's kind of sweeter, Yeah, that's it. Now, sometimes when you want to write a song, it's usually good to leave your environment, because sometimes, take for example, I live in Lagos, and Lagos is predominantly noisy. Sometimes you might actually just want to, you might actually just want to leave, your environment and go somewhere more serene. A place where, there's less noise, there's just less technology, where you can basically just write and be inspired by a lot of stuff. There's no traffic noise, there are no cars making ping, ping, pong, pong. There's nobody screaming on your head, and trying to force you off the way. There's constant light. It's basically a good idea when you write to take yourself out of a familiar environment. That's one of the hazards of leaving your comfort zone. Basically when you do that, it kind of helps. It helps in, giving you a fresh perspective. Now, if you're a singer and you have issues with songwriting, this is my advice.
basically get yourself a group of songwriters or get people who write, and employ their services for them to write for you. Why? Take, for example, if you want to speak about joy or pain, hurt, or anger, what you have to do is express yourself to them, express your feelings to them. Now, good songwriters know how to articulate words. So what they basically do is they take your feelings and inscribe them into lyrics, and they give it back to you to sing. Now, all you have to bother yourself about is emoting the song, expressing the feelings behind the lyrics. That's basically what you have to do, and it saves you a whole lot of stress. There are tons of songs that have been written by people some of us probably do not know. I mean, you have great songs like We Are the World, Heal the World, Black or White. Some of these great songs were written by tons of songwriters, not just one person. So save yourself the stress of sleepless nights, sleeping with a dictionary next to you, and trying so hard to come up with words, using rhyme books. It saves you a whole lot of stress. Just get someone to write for you. And if you're a songwriter, you don't necessarily have to sing the songs that you write. Sometimes you might lack what it takes to emote the song. You may be able to write it very well, but there are people who can bring the emotions of the song out. Don't waste your time trying to force yourself to sing right. There are people who will carry the face of your writing. So save yourself the stress. Collaborate with people who sing very well and write for them. And it's going to be symbiotic. You write, they sing. Eventually you get the credit. And if someone writes a song for you, give them the credit and let everybody go home happy.
Who can bring me restoration? Who can give me the wealth of nations?